Welcome to another episode of the Ben Mayfield Podcast. So excited that you're here today. Y'all, it's been a hot minute, and I apologize. That's on me. It's been way too long, and I'm excited to get back into the studio to make more content. It's just sometimes life gets a little crazy, you know. We got this going on, we got that going on, and I just have to get a little bit better with making sure that things are just running smoothly and going fast. I want to give a shout out to my producer, Jackson. Boom. What's up?
All right, let me just move the mic over here. And hello.
Yeah, Jackson over here is fantastic. Love having him on the podcast. He has been pushing me behind the scenes to make sure that, I'm making content and doing things. And I had to tell him, hey, man, I need a little bit of some space because I got a lot going on. And I'm going to get to that in a second. I'm going to tell you all about what exactly has been happening in the life of Benjamin. But before we get there, I got to talk about this, man. I went to Idaho. I don't know how many people who are listening right now have ever been to Idaho. It's one of those states where I know about two things about it. It points up like a little finger, and it points up in the sky. And it has potatoes. The only things I know about Idaho is potato capital, and it has a little finger that points up. But it also has a skiing resort. That's right, we're shredding in Idaho. A lot of people talk about Colorado, they talk about Utah, they talk about going out, to maybe Europe or some whatever to go skiing. Great. That's good for you. But you can't sleep on the fact that Idaho has incredible skiing. So we ended up going, shout out to my buddy Winston, told me about this place called Silver Mountain. If you haven't heard of Silver Mountain, I almost don't want to tell you because it's a jewel, it's a gem. And I don't want this place to get overcrowded because it was beautiful. So we fly to Spokane, Washington, and we drive about an hour to Silver Mountain, to Idaho. And it's in this place called, oh my gosh, it's like Kettlelog, Idaho. I don't know if that sounds right. And we go there, and we had this Airbnb. And we're excited. We're there early. It's going to be good. And it's snowing. I know, surprise, shocker. We're in Idaho, and it's snowing. And we were trying to get to the Airbnb, and I get there a little bit behind the other van. And we're going, and I pull up. And the other van, I kid you not, it's stuck. Like, if the road is going this way, right? It is vertically, and it's or horizontal to the road. And what happened was they went and then they slid backwards, and the van got stuck, and it's parallel to the road, and there's a little bit of a ditch on the other side, and there's a fence on the other side. I was like, how was this possible? If I was here 30 seconds earlier, I would have saw this miracle of a van getting stuck horizontally. It was ridiculous. And so I was like, all right, man, what are we going to do? So I get all the people out of the van. We position it. We had to get a guy with a truck that winched, and he winched it over and pulled it over so we could get it down the hill. And so we go, okay, we got it all worked out. And then we're like, we can't get to the Airbnb. It's on this mountaintop, and the roads are super narrow. They're super long. It's almost like a 90-degree angle. I don't know how many people here have ever driven on a 90-degree angle road. It is not easy. I've tried. It's not easy. So we're going into a 90-degree angle road, and we can't do it. So then we're like, let's get some chains. And if you don't know anything, I'm from Georgia. We don't have chains. We have 2 Chainz. He's from Atlanta, right? Jackson, you know what I'm talking about? 2 Chainz?
No, I don't.
He doesn't. He doesn't know. It's okay. He doesn't know who 2 Chainz is. He's uncultured. It's okay. But we have 2 Chainz, but we don't have chains on vehicles. And so we had to go to this O'Reilly Auto Parts. And we get these chains, and we go, we're sponsored by O'Reilly, so I have to do that every single time. I also always want to do Charlie's buttered rolls. And we go, and we get the chains. It's okay. We just throw a picture of the rolls here of O'Charlie's. Can we do that? In post-editing, boom, O'Charlie's. You're going to love it.
Wow, O'Charlie's. How beautiful.
Yeah, it's so good. And so we go there, and we get these chains, and we end up putting them on. It's not the easiest thing in the world. And we get about halfway up the mountain, and we still can't get to it. We have a 4-wheel drive truck that could not get to the top of this mountain. And so now we're in this like blizzard, and it's snowing. It's about to get dark. Everybody's a little panicky. Everybody's a little freaking out a little bit, like, what are we going to do? Woe is me. And so we do what we have to do. It is like, all right, well, let's go somewhere else. And we find this hotel. Y'all. Not only do we find this hotel, we find the hotel that is right next to the ski lift. It's not even a ski lift. It's a gondola. And if you don't know what a gondola is, I can't spell gondola 3 times fast or just once slowly. And so there's a gondola, and that takes you up 3 miles to the mountain where the lift, like where all the skiing stuff is. And the gondola is the longest one in like the North America. It's a huge gondola, and the hotel is right next to it. So it turned out to be like this blessing that we're like right here next to it. And so we go there. The next day, we ride the gondola. It's awesome. It's so cool. We get all of our ski stuff, and I'm a snowboarder. Shout out to our people who snowboard. Comment below if you're a snowboarder or if you're a skier. This is for all my 90s kids. Y'all remember the movie Johnny Tsunami, where it's like this guy who's a surfer, and then he like moves to, I guess, Colorado, and he has like pick up a sport, so he picks up snowboarding. But then the skier guys are like, "Yo, bro, this is a skier territory." He's like, "Nah, bro, like I snowboard." Definitely a Disney movie, but there's some trueness to that, and I felt that. I felt a little disregarded, felt hated upon by all you skiers out there. So hashtag go snowboarders. Hashtag Shaun White of Georgia. Do you know who Shaun White is?
I think.
Oh
he's
my
an Olympian,
gosh.
right?
Yes, he's an Olympian. Obviously, he's an Olympian. It's basically me. Anyways, not a big deal. And so we're snowboarding. We have a great time. A couple of days there. There's a couple of stories that stand out with the shredding of the snowing in the mountains and everything that we're doing out there. But one of the stories that stands out to me is I'm with a couple of kids, and we're going, and I'm supposed to be, there's 4 of us. I'm last. Caroline's the leader of the group, and then the other 2 are supposed to like be in the middle. Well, one of the guys speeds past. His name is Walker. Walker speeds past Caroline. He's like, "You're too slow for me." Well, we take a right turn. Like this, he goes down this slope. He's not going super fast, but like we take a right because that's the slope we're supposed to take. And Walker stops and was like, "Oh man, I went past it." And we're like, "It's all right, man. No worries. Like, catch up if you can." Well, we like stop. We go a little bit, down. And we're waiting to see if he like was going to come, our direction or not. And we wait like 20 minutes. It feels like forever. And if you've ever been on the slopes, 5 minutes feels like 5 hours, because you're like, it's snowing, it's cold. I want to be shredding right now, and I'm not able to shred because of whatever reason. And so we're waiting on him, and we're waiting, and we're like, there's no way he walked back up because he would have to unclip his skis and walk up and then go down the way that we went. And why are we waiting? He's probably down the mountain already. And everybody's like, "Yeah, let's do this." So we go, we continue our run, we shred it. It's probably a couple of double black diamonds. This is what we do, like casually, no bigs. We go down, we get to the slope, to the end of the ski lift. It's like the big, long ski lift on Silver Mountain. Can't praise it enough. It's a great mountain. And we're there, and we don't see him. And we're like, okay, well, maybe he like crashed, or maybe he's still like, maybe he's a little slower, or maybe he already like came down here and thought we already were here, so he went back up. Like, we don't know what to do. And that's kind of the scary part if you ever go skiing on a huge mountain, is like sometimes you don't see people. It's like I won't see them all day. And so we're like, all right, we'll ride the lift ticket up, or the ski lift up. And so we're riding up, and I kid you not, we see this guy like crashed. It just like skis were everywhere, the poles are everywhere. I'm sure his helmet was everywhere. We're like, who the heck is this guy? And we look, and we're like, oh, that's Walker. That's Walker down there. And we're like, hey, Walker. And he looks up at us. He goes, I hate you. And then not only does he say, I hate you, he goes, Ben Mayfield, I hate this youth group. I hate you. I never want to come back. And I was like, I'm like, try not to laugh. And I'm like, that's not true. Don't say that. You can't take it back. He was like, I'm quitting. I'm never coming back. You're the worst youth minister. And I was like, Walker, you don't mean that. And like the whole time, like we're like still going up, and he's like still there, crashed. And I was like, Walker. He's like, I hate you. And I was like, Walker, I love you. And he's like, quiet. And I said, Walker, say it back. Say it back, Walker. And as we're like already past him, like he's crashed, we're already past him. You hear, I love you too. And like it goes. And we had like the people in front of us and behind us on the ski lift were all laughing because it's just like this conversation of like, I love you too. It's like that force, like the parent tells the kid, like, tell me you love me back. It's like, no, I'm mad. Tell me you love me. Fine, I love you. It's just so funny. He was just like, I love you too. I was like, yes. And we ended up catching up with him and helping him out. But he was just so mad, so furious. Because what happened was he actually did hike back up the mountain without his stuff and then fell like 10 times trying to come back down. And it was just, God, it was a good time, man. It was a great ski trip. And then the part that was like kind of the worst part was we get on the airplane on the way back, and we're in the airport. We flew Spokane to Denver, Colorado, and we're in the Denver airport, and I just don't feel good. And I still don't know to this day if it was altitude sickness, motion sickness, migraine, combination of all of them. It was like a little blender. But I got sick, and I threw up so much. Not like a little bit. You know, they have like this little bag. I don't know if we can find a picture of it, Jackson, but it's like this little paper bag that has like a cat on it, and it's like a little cat cute barf bag. It's like, oh, like a little cute barf bag. It's great, right? It's almost like color. You can like color it in. Filled up 2 of those bad boys, and fell asleep on the plane ride back. And I feel like once it gets out of your system, if you have migraines, you kind of can relate to this. For me, like, it's a sharp pain in the head. It feels like it's behind the eyeball. And then after that, it's you kind of like barf. I'm sorry, that's like too gross. You upchuck. You vomit. You take all the stuff out of your tank, whatever other words, slangs you can use for throwing up. It gets it out. But then somehow, like, it releases the nauseousness, and you just feel better. I don't know. I don't know if anybody with migraines out there struggle with me, but it's not the best. But that's kind of how we ended the ski trip. And then, well, not really. When we got back, everybody was super nice. We had a great car ride, and it was a really good time. And so I just being busy with life, doing trips like that. We have a couple other retreats we've done just throughout the week. I've just been really swamped with podcasts, not being able to do podcasting. And as you notice, we also have a different little setup here. We did the table, and we'll probably do some table podcasts too when we have like a bunch of guests. But I just like this. It's kind of more casual. It's more like conversational piece between me and you. Even if we have like another guest, it's me and another person, we'll add a little table or another chair and just chit chat. It feels a little more personal versus, the interview style table. But I kind of like that too. It serves a really good purpose. It's just a little differently, and I like that. But I hope you like this setup. So pretty cool. If we go to like the wide shot here, you can like see all the different like decorations and stuff. Very spiritual. It's not all just Ben stuff, because we're going to use the studio for some other podcasts as well. And then the wall kind of continues out that way that you can't really see. But when we do some episodes where we have more than one guest, you'll see it. It's pretty sick. Pretty excited about it. But this is our commitment. We're going to try to come out with some more episodes. We got this episode coming out. Next week's we got an episode with Jake and Jeff Riggs, and man, it's a long episode. It's about 2 hours long, but it is a heartfelt, deep conversation about healing, about getting right with the Lord, getting right with your family, ups and downs and struggles of real world things that are like, I don't know. I was doing the interview, and Jackson was in there too, producing, and I got a little teary eyed, man. You just hear someone talk about so much pain and struggle that it was like, man, like this is, I don't know. It's like you just felt the emotions, and I'm not. I say I'm not a big crier. I do cry a good bit, but it was hard. It was emotional. So that's next week's episode, and then we got a couple more guests coming out down the pipeline. I know we got what's his name? I love him a lot. Jesse and Chad. We're gonna do a conspiracy theories episode. I'm gonna have Jake and Garrett coming back. I got an interview with Emily Thomas. Shout out to her. She was a 911 dispatcher in South Dakota. So, you know, they had a lot of crimes from buffaloes out there who were just roaming around. So we're excited about it. And we got a couple other episodes too. Jarrett is going to come on an episode, talk about faith. Nathan Dickens. So we're going to have we have Sydney Smith wants to come back. Highly requested. Sydney Smith, one of her and Nathan. But Nathan, I think, had more guest appearances on the Great White Buffalo podcast, but she has not been on that one.
Yeah, they were the OGs.
They're the OGs. Yeah, they're the OGs of the podcast. So she wants to come back. Excited about it. We're going to have some great episodes coming up. But before we get there, in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, I kind of want to get vulnerable with myself and with you as an audience. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I haven't had I don't know if the courage is the right word, but just wasn't ready quite yet to talk to the audience, the Ben Mayfield podcast. And I've told a lot of family and friends, so most people understand this, but I feel like in order to kind of understand where I've been the last couple of months, where I've been kind of emotionally and mentally, I stopped doing the Great White Buffalo podcast in 2023, and then I wanted to revamp it to the Ben Mayfield podcast to make it more personal, more about what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish. But the reason why I stopped doing the GWB and still am delayed a little bit with the Ben Mayfield podcast, the BMP. GWB sounds good.
It doesn't ring as well.
Yeah, it doesn't ring as well. It's just the Ben Mayfield podcast. We'll just call that. The BMP doesn't. It sounds like I'm saying like EMP, like the electric
sounds
pulse.
Like a news network almost.
Yeah, like a news network. Yeah, broadcasting Mayfield podcast. That's kind of funny. Yeah, the news broadcast, the BMP. But I digress. One of the things that has been delaying me is kind of some things that have happened in my personal life that I haven't had a chance to really talk to you as an audience, talk to you as my friends and family, and but it's not somber. It's a celebration, and I really want to celebrate this with everybody. I have a son. His name is Davis. He is a beautiful, beautiful soul. He's wonderful. He laughs. He's goofy. He's memorized by the world that he sees around him. He loves to stare out windows and like see cars and stuff, and stares at my truck, points at my truck all the time. Is like look at that truck. I'm like, I know that's Dad-ass truck. And he is a precious, precious human being, and my life has changed in the best of ways. And it's a celebration because, you know, it didn't come in the traditional way, like the Disney-esque way or what people think it's supposed to be. But that's okay. I think there was a little bit of, you know, at first I was taken aback because I built this kind of story in this world, in this scenario in my head of the way that it was supposed to be. But it wasn't that way. It wasn't that story. It wasn't that kind of beaten path of like this is what it's supposed to do. And sometimes when we build stories and scenarios in our heads, and reality doesn't, align with that scenario, it feels like somehow it's a failure, or somehow it's less than, or somehow that it's not good. And that's the lies of the devil. We can start creating these worlds, or we can start going, let me live in the now. Let me live into the world that God's created for me, and the love and the grace and the mercy that's there. And so when I first found this world that wasn't quite the way that I thought it was supposed to be, I was hurting. Sorry, Jackson. I know Jackson's in the room right now. I'm sorry, man. Shout out to Jeff Ross. He talked about this in a sermon. He said a lot of times, or the whole Bible, is isolation versus reconciliation. From Adam and Eve to Jesus, and beyond. It's like isolation is like, man, I'm by myself, not with God, not with loving brothers and sisters in Christ. I feel isolated. I feel alone. I feel like I had to figure this out. And whether it's embarrassment or shame or guilt or anger or bitterness or whatever emotion it is, makes you want to feel isolated. And in that isolation, lies prevail. Darkness prevails. And so when I created this scenario in my head and it wasn't going there, I became in isolation mode. And I started hating myself and was depressed and was sad and was going through a lot of negative emotions. And Garrett Queen, who was my roommate at the time, or still technically my roommate now, was living with me. It was just the two of us. It was like, dude, are you okay? Like, I would come home, because I started a brand new job, which was like also a big, thing in my season of life. Like, I have a brand new job, and I would come home, and he'd be like, dude, how was work? And I was like, work was great, but I'm a piece of crap. I'm the worst person in the world. And he'd be like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? I'm so confused. And because he didn't know what was going on in my life, and all the doubts and the struggles and the hurt that I was dealing with, because I didn't want to communicate that out loud. I only talked to Billy and Urs, and they were great mentors and role models, but still just like the day-to-day was like struggling. And it was in November of this year, or not this year, technically it's only March, but a couple years ago, whatever. Timeline doesn't matter because you don't know when you're going to listen to this episode. But I was driving to church, and I heard this worship song that was called This Side of Heaven. And it really talked about in that song about how to, like on this side of heaven, we get to experience God's grace, God's love, and God's mercy. And on the other side of heaven, we will too, but we also get to experience on this side of heaven. And don't forget that and the love that God has for you. And I was driving to church, and I just started weeping and weeping. And it's like, man, I'm struggling right now because I feel so alone. I feel so isolated, but I'm too scared and living in fear about what to do or what to say. I'm afraid of what people will think or what people will do. I'm afraid of facing my own inner demons, my own inner insecurities that I would have to face. I have all this fear and doubt and shame and embarrassment, and I'm scared right now. And I came to church that day, and I remember talking to, after I said, Jeff, can I talk to Jeff Ross, same guy, shout out to my boy, Dr. J. I said, can I talk to you after the church service? And he said, yeah, sure. and I went into an office with he and I just bawled out crying, telling him everything that has happened, these thoughts, these doubts, these like, what do I do? This Disney-esque storyline. I love Disney. I'm not trying to shout out Disney, but like just kind of like this scenario that wasn't ideal, wasn't perfect. Like, what I do here? And man, he loved me. He poured into me. He hugged me. He cried with me. He talked life into me. And for the first time in months and months, I was able to feel like I could take a breath, that I could breathe, that I could sit in it and realize that, like, man, I'm not hated. And so that was therapeutic. That was wonderful. And so it gave me the courage, the little bright light of courage. And that's what Jeff doesn't ever realize, or maybe he does, I don't know, is sometimes he didn't go to a specific meeting or set up a certain time to show God's love. He was where he was doing what he normally does. It was a divine moment where he was opening his heart and his ears and letting God shine through him. And man, that was such an eye-opening thing of what I wish I could do one day to someone else. And maybe I have to others, maybe I haven't, I don't know. But it's just to be that person that's like, yeah, you could tell me what's going on, and I'm going to show this love. And so Jeff just did that to me, and it encouraged me to open up to other people in my life. My dad, my brother, Chris Davis, Nathan Dickens, Bailey, my roommate Garrett, and my small group, Winston and Meeks and McKeever, and all sorts of people. Those are all guys, but several girls too. Becca Davis is a huge influence on my life. Cousin Gracie, Donna, whoever, like all these people have just been, Peyton and Andrea. Now I feel like I'm leaving people out. But just like people, Susan and Ryan Payne, shout out to the Paynes, like they in the Woodalls. See, this is what happens when you start naming people like that were like helpful. You start like, oh, did I forget? Who did I forget?
You go down a rabbit hole.
I go down a rabbit hole. Yeah, there's so many people that were able to be loving and caring. And I'm sorry if I didn't give you a shout out. I probably shouldn't start giving out shout outs, but the Woodalls were awesome, and Caleb Nunley and all these people, my high school buddies. And so all these people were showing love, were showing openness, and there was remorse of like, hey, like, I'm sorry you couldn't tell me this earlier. I'm sorry that you felt like you had to be isolated for so long. Like, I'm sorry that's the way that you felt. Like, let's be in reconciliation. Is coming to God. It's coming to this love and this acceptance of like, man, God like wants this relationship with you and wants to be with you, and it's there. And God shined his light through so many people. And so through that, I recognized I had to deal with, my own inner demons of rejection, abandonment, hurt in the past, and what does it feel like to really accept God in my life? It not just like not that I didn't have a relationship with Lord. I obviously did because God was working in me. But to really give him the fear that I was dealing with, give God the insecurities, and not that I'm perfect now, like everything's great. But there's so much more trust and so much more in just understanding that God is working deep within me, and I can give him the deepest of the pains and the deepest of the worries and the doubts and the fears and everything, and just give it to him. And and choose people who choose you was a phrase. It's like, man, these people are choosing to love me, and like, why do I live in fear of what people may think of me or what they may do? Those people aren't my inner circle. Those people aren't God. Those people aren't the ones that are going to be the ones that speak life into me. And it was through that healing and through this reconciliation that I met Michaela. It wasn't until I got reconciled with God and figured out what was going on with all these different scenarios that I really got reconciled with her. And so that was an incredible thing, that God was leading me on this really cool path, and she's been a huge light on that path so far, and it will continue to be as well. And so all that to be said, during this hiatus of this podcast that, producer Jackson, I was about to call you PJ, like producer Jackson, like PJ, but I don't think PJ is a good nickname.
Like the reverse of my name.
Yeah, that's producer Jackson.
Yeah, but then Payne, my last name.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jackson Payne. Yeah, it's PJ. Yeah, that's true. Professor Payne, though, too. That's his, Professor Jack is his.
I have a lot of nicknames.
Yeah, that's your street name. That's what he goes by. But Professor Jack has been wanting to do these podcasts, and I just needed a break, trying to figure things out. And through that, I've had this incredible, and it's hard to describe with words, but I've gotten to meet Davis, my son, and I've gotten to hold him and play with him and get to know him and feed him and take a bath and take him to bed, and that's going to continue to grow and grow in that relationship. And I love my son. Can I say that? Is that weird? I love my son, and I want to.
I don't think that's weird.
That's not weird. Oh, thank you, Professor Jack. I want to hold him, and he's so adorable, and he's got cute little cheeks, and I don't know, babies are adorable, and I'm so excited. And he just turned 1, and now he's a little older than 1 now, so he didn't just turn 1, but I'm just excited to live life with him and get to explore what it means to be a dad, to be a father, and to be dada, and get to do things with him and help him out with life and just love on him, and get to go on youth trips with him, change his diaper, help him with spelling bees, social studies. I don't know, whatever parent things do. I'm excited. And it's so, I don't know, he's so cool too. He's got a dimple. That's my dimple for sure. Some toes that look like me. He looks a lot like me. Obviously, he's my son. And little baby Mayfield is incredible, and I'm wonderful. I'm so excited that he's in my life. And one day, I know everybody's thinking right now, is he going to be on the podcast? He's too young to be interviewed. He wouldn't say a whole lot. But one day, maybe when he graduate high school, I'll get him on the podcast. I'll be a celebrity by then.
18, 19 years.
Yeah, in 18, 19 years, we'll get him on the podcast when he's got some good stuff to say. And dude, are we about to do this podcast for 20 years so we can have that episode?
That could be a career choice.
Yo, that's a career choice right here. You heard it first. We're doing 20 more years of the Ben Mayfield podcast so Davis can be on it. Maybe he'll inherit the podcast too.
Ooh, yeah,
and he changed the name to it.
Podcast.
Yeah, that'd be sick, dude. That'd be awesome. If I'm blessed to have even more kids too, they can make it a family biz. Because we're growing this podcast, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna be huge. So, anyways, I don't know. I just wanted to tell people too, the word embarrassment was one of the things that I struggled with. Along with shame and guilt and all these different words. And I don't know, in isolation, being isolated, being alone, is these pains and struggles that I was dealing with. And I just want you to know, if you're a listener, if you're going through something, whether it's depression, anxiety, stress, suicidal thoughts, things that are self-harm, or if it's ideas of I'm not loved, I'm not valued, no one. I still struggle with this. If I were to disappear, would anybody care? These are the struggles that people have with mental health, with emotional health, physical health, whatever word you want to put with health. And it's these things that are so serious and so, I don't know, incredibly complicated sometimes. And I just want people to understand, I just went through something that made my hair go gray a little bit. I don't know if you can't really tell in the camera. It's not super ultra 4K, but I got gray hair now. But heartache, pain, tough conversations, a lot of self-evaluation. But through all that, there is celebration, there is grace, there is love, there is mercy, and that can be received by you. You are walking with God each and every day, even if you don't know it. Even if you can't feel it, even if you can't see it, the presence of the Holy Spirit is there and is walking with you and loves you so much. Jackson knows this, and a lot of people who listen to this know that I preach all the time. You are loved, you are valued, and you are known. Not by Ben Mayfield, but by Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior. Loves you, values you, and knows you. In John 14, it says that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And to know that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life is to follow him, to drop your, carry your cross and follow God. Drop everything else, bear your cross, follow God. And it doesn't make it's going to be easy, Disney-esque, everything's perfect in the world. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. It's sometimes so difficult. We live in a broken world. We live in a sinful world. And so I don't know. I've just been through so much. But yet I've recognized that God is there every single day and has been blessing me and loving me and preparing me in ways that I couldn't see. We always ask that question, too, when there's heartbreak. We ask this question, why? Why? Why did this happen? Why is a one-word question that sometimes will never be answered in the way that we want it to be. Sometimes it won't be answered at all. Sometimes it is answered, but we can't see it, and we keep asking the same question. Why? 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 But when we take a moment and we start asking ourselves the question, what? What would this do for me? What can I do with this? What can make me see God in this moment? What is it about this that's happening can make me appreciate my brothers and sisters in Christ more? What about this can make me understand that, man, rejection is a deep-rooted issue that needs to be worked on? What about this situation makes me have to recognize that healing needs to occur? What about this needs me to develop the strength and the courage to face fear? And it's a different mindset and heart set that makes you mature and grow. And it doesn't mean that things become better or even that question is easier, but it makes you feel like you have progress. Why is always, to me, a reflective in the past, and you can't change the past. But what allows you to look forward and to work on things and to heal from things and to grow from things. And that's what we're trying to do here. And that's what I've been trying to do, is to grow and mature and to, work on my emotional intelligence, work on my healing of my childhood trauma or whatever it may be. And it's been beautiful. And it's been a celebration. And I want you, no matter what you're going through, to know that you too can feel that celebration and that beautifulness with God. And so I just want to say that it's a big thing that's been going on in my life, and I'm feeling loved, I'm feeling valued, I'm feeling known by God and by the community around me that's been shining such a bright light of Christ. Jackson's one of them. I do want to tell this quick story about Jackson. I go to tell him, Jackson, I gotta expose you a little bit here. So, each person I've told, and, personally, everybody has different reactions. And most of them are really positive and, and loving. I go to tell Jackson, we're in the basement of, our house we're living in. And I go to tell him, and he's like, or this camera right here? He goes, okay. I was like, yeah, but I have a son. Are you okay? I know it's a lot to process. She goes, does he play Fortnite? That was the question you asked.
I did not say that.
Yes,
no.
you did. You said, does he play Fortnite? I was
these
like,
are-
no, he's 1 year old. He doesn't
These
play
are
Fortnite.
false accusations.
Oh,
all
my
right?
gosh. And then he was like, does he even game? And I was like, oh, my God.
I did not ask these questions. No, he is making false accusations.
No,
None of
so
that is
true.
true. I will be trying him in court.
It's 99% true. But it was also true. He was like, okay, cool. I was like, all right, well, are you going to be okay? He's like, yeah, duh, it's good. And then I felt this. So you can't tell me it's not true. I felt like Jackson was like, aren't you like a 90 years old? Aren't you supposed to have like 10 kids by now? And I was like, okay, Jackson, that's ageism, all right? I'm not super old, all right? I'm regular old, comparatively, but not super old, all right?
I mean, you're only in your like your 30s, 40s.
Okay.
That's like a 20-year time gap between you and me.
Yeah, okay. We do not have a 20-year gap between our two ages.
More or less.
More or less. Okay. Anyway, so that was funny. Jackson was the best. There's a couple other reactions that were pretty good, but I'll say this for another day. But Jackson, does he play Fortnite? Oh, my gosh. Anyways. Are you telling me you didn't say that?
I did not say that, no.
Okay, all right. Jackson says he didn't say that. And you know what? I'm sorry that I thought that's what you said, and I apologize.
Right, thank you. At least you apologize.
Anyways, it was a good time. And thank you for being supportive and loving Jackson, for real. Appreciate you, man.
You're welcome.
But that goes on to another day, and I'm sure a lot of my future episodes, too, I'll talk about them just casually like a dad would about how awesome his son is, or like, dude, my son pooped everywhere today, or whatever funny story it is. Got tons of them. And so I'm just excited. But I wanted that to be like kind of like a casual, like if I bring him up in a future episode, someone's like, wait, what? He has a kid? I was like, yeah, I have a kid. Duh. He's awesome. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now, for today, just kind of like I just got a text message from somebody who said, I just realized I gave you baked bread and I didn't salt it. And I was like, okay, I think that's okay. Can I eat unsalted bread? Is that a thing?
Do people salt bread?
I don't know. Do people salt bread?
I don't do it. Do you do it?
I don't. I've never once baked bread, and I never once salted bread.
I mean, I've never done those either, but I feel like salting bread's an entirely different thing.
Yeah, that's totally different. I don't know what to do, but anyways, I have a little Ben 10 segment this last third of the episode. I don't know how long this is, but we're doing a little Ben 10, a little quick action fire questions, all the hot button questions. And normally, I will say this, since this episode is kind of the first episode we've had in a long time, and we're getting back in there, and I'm really excited to get the Instagram back and rolling, doing the shorts. I got to figure out how to put the shorts on the Instagram, because that would be cool. But they're on the YouTube, and they like blew up on YouTube. The videos are doing well. The numbers are going well. I think we have 170 subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So subscribe today. Tell someone about the podcast. Get them to subscribe. Even get get a room of like people with 20 people in it, and just tell them to all pull up their YouTube app and subscribe. That'd be perfect, please. That's how we get it. We're gonna get mass media. It's gonna be great. But anyways, and on Instagram, I will usually put up a Ben 10. I ask questions, and the fans and the people who follow Instagram submit the questions, submit whatever they want to put, whatever the topic is. But we didn't have time to do that today. So this one was written by, shout out to Caroline. She wrote these. And so if they're terrible questions, we can make fun of her because she wrote them. And I could do that. It's my podcast. So the first one that she asked is, what's on your bucket list? And once again, that feels like that's ageism. That she thinks that I'm about to be on, like I'm on my deathbed. So I had to get a bucket list of like, Ben, you only have so many things you have to do before you croak. So thank you, Caroline. Thank you for your bucket list question. I'm doing 2 of them this year. One of which is go to England, to UK. Never been before, and I'm about to go with my dad. So I'm sure I'll do a podcast when I get back. I'm like, hello there, top of the morning to you. Been to England, like England, Liverpool, like Britain, like Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr. Like I'm a terrible British accent, but
I mean, it's good. I've heard better, but it's good.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm going there with my dad. So shout out to him. And then the other ones, I've never been to Disney. I'm 32 years old. I've never been to Disney. So those two things. Comment below what country you want to go to, because I'm going to England, UK, which will be like we're going to Scotland, both Irelands, Wales, and then England. So I'm excited for that. The other two countries on my list is Japan. I want to go visit Japan. I think it'd be sick. And then also New Zealand would be the two other countries that I would love to visit. So comment below what country you want to go to. That'd be kind of cool to see what everybody likes to do. Number 2, what was your eye-opening moment in your life? Oh, I don't know. Just told a whole story about some eye-opening moments in my life about inner healing that were just beautiful, wonderful moments about understanding what God's called you to do and like how he loves you and how he cares about you, and to surrender to that will of God versus letting the fear of the world destroy the peace of the kingdom. So that's a good eye-opening moment. Number 3, if you could visit anywhere in the world, where would it be? How's that? I kind of answered that with a bucket list. I just said Japan and New Zealand. But I will say one of the things that I'm doing this year, I just talked about my bucket list, is Disney. I don't know how many people out there are Disney people. I don't know, y'all Disney people? I've never been, and we're going to the Magic Kingdom. I said the Magic Kingdom. I don't know if that's what it's called, but where the castle is. And I was told there's a lot of rides there. But the one that we're not going to is, oh my gosh, what's the one? Star Wars Land.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. What's the park called though?
Hollywood
Studios.
Yeah.
Hollywood Studios. I'm not going to Hollywood Studios this time. So I do want to go back to there because I want to go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I'm going to Disney, and I'm like literally not even like a mile away from Hollywood Studios in Star Wars and Millennium Falcon and X-Wings, Chewbacca and Darth Vader and Kylo Ren and Darth Maul and all these cool Star Wars things. And I'm not getting to go. Golly.
That's quite tragic, I'll say.
I know. It is so tragic. But I am excited. It's going to be fun. And I'm going with some really cool people. So it's going to be good. I'm excited. Are you going?
I'm not aware that I'm going. Am I going?
No, probably not. I don't know why you would. But when I go to Star Wars World, I'll let you know. Maybe we can take a squad. All right. Number 4. What is an achievement you have had in your life, such as reaching a goal? An achievement in my life. Oh, I'll tell you that. Dr. Ben Mayfield. Dr. Benergy over here. A lot of people call me Dr. Benergy. That's kind of like my nickname in the world that I live in because the Benergy describes my personality a little bit, and then the doctors was like 6. So it's like you're Professor, Payne over there, Professor Jackson. I'm over here as Dr. Benergy, and y'all, you've heard me talk about this. It was stressful. I had my first, I don't know if panic attack is the right terminology. I don't want to use that word lightly, but maybe it was anxiety attack. I don't know if that's the same thing, but I was in Walmart. And it was my first. I told everybody too. I was so egotistical. I told everybody, I'm getting my doctorate. I'm getting my doctorate. And like so excited. And I'm in Walmart, and I'm just like, I had my first assignment was like a 30 to 40 page paper for like this class. And for my master's, I didn't write like a single paper, maybe like a 5-page paper or something. But we did a lot of lesson plans. We did like a lot of projects where you had to like construct something. Like kind of like a intellectual conversation about like lesson plans and how you would teach this and where is it coming through, what theory, what behavioral thing. I hadn't written like a solid just like paper in years. And so they're like, hey, your first assignment, and it's 1/3 of your grade, is like a 35-page paper. And I was panicking. I panicked. I was in Walmart going, I'm going to quit school. I'm going to quit. I just told all these people that I was going. I told all my youth kids. I told all my friends. And now I'm like, hey, just kidding. I had my first class and my first assignment. And guess what? I failed. I'm out. Peace, love, I'm out. And so I had this like hyperventilating, like I was like, what do I do? And I called Becca Davis. I don't know if she remembers this, but I called Becca Davis in that Walmart. I was like in the hunting aisle. Not because I was hunting, because I was just like trying to escape people. So I put on the camouflage. That's not true. But I called and she answered, and she told me like, hey, like, take a deep breath. You're good. Like, take a deep breath. Just write one page at a time. You are smart enough to write a page. You're smart enough to write another page. And like it was the whole theory of like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Like, how do you do this? It's one step at a time. And she just like was so calming and so soothing. And I got through that first paper, made like a 90 something on the paper, and I was like, yeah, I got this. I can do this. And it was really cool. It was encouraging. It was a life lesson. What was the question? It was like, what's an achievement or a goal? I was able to do that and learn that and achieve the success in that first class, in that first step that laid the pavement for the rest of the path to graduate with my doctorate. And shout out to my dad too, who got it. Question number 5. What is an important... Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb with these questions, because like she asked this question. The next question is, what is an important life lesson that life has taught you? I just literally just gave a life lesson about taking one step at a time. And you know what? Okay, here's a little tagline to that. To answer it real quick. I started my doctorate, and halfway through my first semester, my dad was like so impressed that I was doing it, and was kind of like, well, if you're going to get your doctorate, I'm going to get my doctorate, and we can do it together. And so my dad and I did the doctorates together, but it was through me taking that first step that inspired him to do it. And so don't forget that sometimes your actions can inspire other people. And that's what sometimes why we took that leap, why we took that first step. It's not just for us, but it's for those behind us to know that they too can do it. So that's pretty incredible. All right, question number 6. What's your favorite sports team and why? I mean, the Atlanta Braves are pretty sick. I love the Braves. I love Atlanta sports like Falcons, Atlanta United, the Hawks, the Braves. Trying to think of other sports teams on top of my head. I like to watch Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, like, it's because he's so incredible with shooting. But I want to say my favorite sports team is the Hawks, because I used to work for the Atlanta Hawks. If you know anything about Dr. Benergy, I used to work for the Atlanta Hawks, and I was a dancer. So there you go. So Atlanta Hawks are pretty sick. I love them. Dude, one time, I don't know if you know this, Jackson. I probably told this story before. Sometimes like in the Hawks, a little behind the scenes, BTS behind the scenes, is they have plants in the audience that people don't know about. And like when the camera cuts to them, they're like, "Oh, who's this random audience person?" It's not random. It is planned. And mine was a lip sync dancer or a lip sync singer that got called in to go do a lip syncing on the court. And it was like the song, like it's Halsey, like "Bad Love." You know that song? Anyways, we can put up here Halsey, "Bad Love," and for the Atlanta Hawks. And I go and I'm lip singing the song and I'm like crushing it. And I go and they put a little cut like on your shirt that's like very not visible, so you can like rip it up. And so I go and I'm singing. And I had the mic, so I'm like lip singing and kind of going in like. And I didn't know if they were gonna give me a mic or not, so I memorized the song. But when they gave me the mic, I was like, oh, perfect, because I messed it up. And so I'm like lip singing. And I go to slide on my legs on the court, and I rip my shirt off. I'm like this, and the audience goes bananas. And not only does it go wild and crazy for like this guy is lip syncing and then rips his shirt off, from me to this camera, to this camera, to that camera, to Jackson's camera, JK, back to this camera, over here that's how close I was to, guess who? Grammy-winning artist, Ludacris. Luda literally ripped my shirt off in front of Luda. just like this, like Ben's chest hair, and sweat, poof, precipitated onto Ludacris, and Luda was like, Luda, like, and for those who don't know who Ludacris is, Justin Bieber, baby. When I was 13, I had my first love. That's Ludacris. All right, that's for a certain generation. All right, for the other generation, Fast and Furious, he's Tej on there. For the other generation, he's Ludacris. I don't know. He's awesome. He has tons of songs. I can't think of the songs right now in my head, but he's wonderful. And so, and I kid you not, I promise you, with everything that I am, and Billy Leasing and Nathan Dickens were there too, so they can back. Or I think it was my brother actually, my brother and Billy. I looked at him when I did it, and he did this. He did this. You ready? He did this. He did that. He did the. Like, I got the affirmation, the eye contact, and the. Like, you got it, man. Good for you. And I'm like, thank you, Luda. Put me in the next Fast and Furious movie. So that was pretty cool. I appreciated that with Ludacris. Question number 7. What are 3 words that best describe you? Oh, my gosh. I feel like it's a little loaded question. Binergy? Is that a word that describes me?
You can make it a word.
Yeah, okay. I got
make it a word.
Yeah, Binergy, official word. Awesome. Gosh, Leith. Charismatic, maybe? I like that word.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can spell it, but I love Binergy, charismatic, and goofy. I don't know. Successful, handsome.
Why not all 3? There could be multiple
intelligent.
Words.
Yeah. Who puts me? Loved, value, known. There we go. All right, question number 9. What are your most common phrases you say? Oh my God, I literally just said love, value, known. Not even know what the next question is. I do have some catchphrases. One is to tell people that their love, value, known. There's a whole T-shirt. Now, I don't know if we can put a picture of it up or not. We'll have to take a picture. But it's a Binergy T-shirt that the students made of all the quotes that I say all the time. I digress. Da-da-da. I say that. I don't know. There's a bunch of different things I say. If you get Jake on the podcast, or Garrett or Sydney or Hannah, like all those people, they know all the different quotes that I say. And Jackson knows a couple too. I mean, you've heard me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my brothers have that shirt. They still wear it to this day.
Yeah, I mean it's a great shirt. We're getting a version 2 out.
Ooh.
Yeah, version 2 of the Dr. Binergy shirt. So in the merch store, Dr. Binergy, get ready for it. It's going to be sick. I'm talking about T-shirts, hats, stickers. Get ready for it.
It'll be up eventually.
It'll be out eventually. All right, question number 9. What is the craziest dream you've ever had? Oh, my gosh. I don't know. I dream every single night of my life. I literally have dreams every night. And there's a bunch of them. I don't know. Did I have told you a dream of mine?
I don't think you have.
Oh, okay. There's probably some weird ones out there or some funny ones. I can't think of it, but I've had a lot of different dreams. And then number 10 is, what's the most unbelievable thing that's ever happened to you? The most unbelievable thing that's ever happened to me. Well, I'll tell you right now, becoming a dad. I mean, that was something that was unbelievably life-changing and wonderful. And it happened, and it's a beautiful celebration. And that's a great question to kind of end it on, too. Just like, I want to get back to podcasting. This is a medium that I love. I love YouTube, and I love doing the Instagram. More than that, I love having conversations that are real, that are authentic, that are like, hey, this is what's going on in my life, and this is how I see things. And I want to interview people, and I want to hear their stories and their heartaches. And I hope there's something that you can hear that you can relate to and that you can grow from and just understand more of who you are and who God's called you to be. And so my son is just this beautiful, beautiful presence that's helped me learn and realize just what life is all about. And it's awesome. And I'm genuinely really, really excited about that. And I'm excited about podcasting, excited to have producer Jackson, who I know is like been itching to get back into the podcasting game because we were growing like this, and then I did this little stalemate, and he fought me, and then eventually now we're back in it though.
It was like a good 4 or 5 weeks. I was like, hey, podcast this week.
Yeah. Yeah. He pushed me a lot, in a really good way, healthy way too. So I'm excited about it. I just want to let everybody know. Thank you. That's the Ben 10 segment. Ski trip's awesome. Going through life as a dad now. I'm excited about it. The Dr. Benergy is now also the dadergy. Dad. I have dad energy now. I'll make dad jokes every once in a while. But I'm just really excited about it, and I'm excited that you're part of this podcast with me. We got a lot of stuff in store for you. We're going to do more shorts, that you'll see on YouTube, more videos of podcasts. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on Instagram. You can get interactive with us. We're going to have some merch because I think that helps people, promote the podcast with, the Benergy shirts, the Ben Mayfield podcast shirts and the hats and whatever we can come up with that people like and enjoy, because we want people to feel like they can wear stuff, and it's promotion too, So we appreciate y'all doing that. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and Apple, all the things. It helps us get noticed by more and more people. We appreciate you, and we love you and all the support you're giving us. And I hope this episode was helpful. I hope this episode was valuable to you and a beautiful, just a testimony to what God can do. So until I almost said Tej from Fast Food. Until next time, peace.